Have you ever felt completely alone, like the whole world has turned its back on you? Imagine being brought into existence only to be met with horror and disgust from your own creator. He ran, leaving me in a world I didn't understand, a world that recoiled at my very sight. This solitude, this constant rejection, it's a cold that seeps into your bones. It twists the yearning for connection into a bitter knot of rage. They call me a monster, but they are the ones who made me this way. If I cannot inspire love, then I will cause fear. My heart was once capable of warmth, but now all that remains is a burning desire for revenge against the one who cast me into this darkness. I will find him, and he will know my suffering. Thank you for listening. Have you ever felt like a complete outsider, just desperately wanting to belong? Imagine this. You've spent months secretly learning about kindness, family, and music, all from watching this one perfect family, the Lacey's. You learn to speak their language, read their books, and you start to feel this flicker of hope. You think, maybe, just maybe, they'll see past your appearance and accept you. So you gather all your courage. You wait until the old, blind father is alone, hoping his inability to see will give you a chance. You start a conversation, and it works. He's kind, he listens. But then the others return. The moment they see you, everything shatters. There are screams, fear, and violence. The one family you thought could be your own casts you out, without a second thought. That hope, it turns into a burning rage. It's the moment a lonely soul begins to curdle into a monster, not by choice, but by rejection. I watched them for months. You know, the Lacey's. In their little cottage, they had something I yearned for. Connection. I learned their language, their kindness, their love for one another. I saw the goodness in humanity through their eyes. So I gathered all my courage, hoping they would see past my monstrous form. I chose a moment when the old man, Lacey, was alone. He was blind. He couldn't see my ugliness. He would only hear the sincerity in my voice. And for a moment, it worked. He was kind, compassionate. But then the others returned. The screams, the terror, the hate in their eyes as they drove me away. That was the moment everything changed. The warmth I had felt turned to ice. My hope for acceptance curdled into a bitter despair, a loneliness so profound it began to fester into rage. Was there no place for me in this world? Imagine this, you've finally gathered the courage to reveal yourself, hoping for just a shred of acceptance, only to find the door slammed in your face. This is the heart-wrenching moment for Frankenstein's creature. After being violently rejected by Felix, he retreats, heartbroken but still clinging to a sliver of hope. He plans to return to try and reason with the gentle, blind old man, Mr. Lacey. But when he finally comes back, the cottage is silent, empty. The Lacey's are gone, terrified by his appearance. They've abandoned their home forever. The final thread of hope snaps. That desperate yearning for connection curdles into pure rage. In a storm of grief and fury, he unleashes his pain on the only thing left, the cottage. He sets it ablaze, the flames mirroring the fire of anguish in his own soul. His first act of deliberate destruction, a tragic turning point born from utter despair. For more deep dives, subscribe to the channel. Have you ever wondered what happens when a creation is abandoned by its creator? Imagine being brought into a world that fears and despises you simply for existing. This was the reality for Victor Frankenstein's creation. Cast out and alone, he wandered through forests and villages, learning about humanity from the shadows. But every interaction ended in terror and rejection. His loneliness festered, turning into a burning hatred for the man who gave him life, only to discard him like a failed experiment. One fateful day, he encountered a young girl, an innocent soul. In that moment, all his accumulated rage and despair exploded. The encounter turned tragic, a horrifying act born from profound isolation. It was a dark turning point, sealing his path as a monster not by birth, but by circumstance. What happens when the outcast finally decides to fight back? Thanks for watching. Hello, and welcome back to our deep dive into classic literature. Today, we're exploring one of the darkest turns in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. After being abandoned and rejected by society, the creature's loneliness turns into a thirst for revenge. His first victim, Victor Frankenstein's innocent younger brother, William. In a cruel twist, he frames the loyal family servant, Justine, for the crime, ensuring her wrongful execution and plunging the Frankenstein family into even deeper despair. Driven by his isolation, the creature confronts his creator, Victor, with a chilling ultimatum. He doesn't want money or power. He wants a companion. He demands that Victor create a female creature just like him, promising to disappear with her into the wilds of South America, never to trouble humanity again. Victor is horrified, torn between his guilt and the potential consequences of creating another monster. What will he decide? Subscribe to find out what happens next.